Hey, what is going on, you hardcore photography geeks? It's Sam from CameraLegend.com, and I am back with you today. And it's been a long time, guys, hasn't it? A little bit longer than usual, yes. I apologize for that, but I guess some of you may know that I was on vacation for about a month. In fact, let me show you where I've been and what I was doing. So today I'm shooting film. Right now I got the Olympus Stylus Epic, and I am in Bangkok, Thailand, and we're going to try to take some pictures. Right here is the Democracy Monument. Very beautiful. You can see a nice colorful Thai taxi going by there. Hey everybody, welcome to Khao San Road, Bangkok Dangerous. Take you for a walk. Bangkok Dangerous is gonna get. So that's gonna be for an upcoming video. But yeah, we were in Thailand, Philippines, and I took some of your favorite cameras because I am listening to you guys. So I took some of your favorite cameras, and you know what those cameras are, don't you? You know what they are. Oh, you don't know? Well, let me show you. Well, if you don't know, now you know. Who is that? Biggie Smalls? Yeah. Anyway, took the Contax T2 with me and a couple of other cameras that I think you guys would be interested in, and we're going to be looking at the results in future episodes, so stay tuned for that. But today I am going to take you back to the 1980s and show you two cameras that some of you guys may be looking for to do something called 3D photography. Now, a fair question would be, what the heck is 3D photography? Growing up in the outer boroughs of New York City, Bronx, Brooklyn, my first recollection of anything 3D were these, I would say they were like holograms. I would walk into, let's say, a bodega. The first thing I would see would be like Playboy stickers, 3D pictures of Jesus. Now I know some of you guys may think I'm making some kind of off-color joke, but it's really not, because any of you guys who grew up in New York City in the 80s or the 90s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, I have an illustration, an example. So I found this recently in one of my 99-cent stores, and I thought it was the coolest thing because this reminded me of the kind of stickers I used to see in those bodegas. Okay, so this is Jesus Christ, my Lord. Okay, take a look at him here. And if you walk sideways, oh Jesus, oh my goodness. Alright, so that was my recollection of 3D photography. So let's get to the stars of our show. The first camera comes to us from the year 1982, and that camera is the Nimslo 3D camera. 7 years later, another camera came out, also pushing that same 3D photography thing, and that camera is the Nishika N8000. Now, first I just want to say I don't want to make this a long video, so in order to keep it short, I'm just going to take you guys through the motions of these cameras, show you what they're like, get you in as close as possible without actually touching them. So basically, camera porn. You jizz. But if you're really interested in these cameras, I've already put the information into our latest article, which you can find in the link below if you're really interested, including history, prices, etc. And these cameras have actually a very interesting and somewhat controversial history. But anyway, you can find that in the article. I also want to say that in this video I am not going to make a tutorial on how to do GIF files with these cameras. That requires quite a bit of effort, and a lot of very fine people have already done videos on that subject. Very fine people on both sides. Where have I heard that before? Alright, well, here are the two 3D icons in all their glory. Let's start with the Nimslo first. As you can see there, it has a Quadra lens system. And what is a Quadra lens? Well, it's not rocket science, right, folks? 4 lenses, okay? I believe they're triplet types. Now, the good thing with the Nimslo is that all these lenses are glass elements, okay? And the camera is fixed focus with a starting aperture of 5.6, okay? Let's take a look, turn it around, let's take a look at the top. What do you see here? Okay, well, here on the top you see an ASA setting, which basically has only 2 settings, or 100 and 400, okay? And on this camera, you pop open the film back the old-fashioned way, which is, alright, give you guys a look inside. Now, as I stated in the blog, I bought this camera as a parts camera, and it is actually not working, but should you get a working one, it takes 3 ever-ready 386 batteries. Anyway, you don't see anything opening because it's not working. I don't have batteries in it, but this is just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. It's a very simple camera, actually. Now let's take a look at the Nishika. At the Nishika N8000. There it goes. There she goes. Alright, so now this camera looks a lot cooler, but it's also a lot more chintzy. It's very, I don't know how to say it. When you feel it, it actually feels good. Now, a lot of people say that the Nimslo is better built, and it is better built. But in my opinion, not much better, you know? It's better, but not much better. Okay, the Nishika, it actually feels pretty decent when you hold it in your hands, despite looking really cheap. It also uses a Quadra lens system, basically 4 lenses. And on the Nishika, the controls are here. Basically, the symbols are the aperture control, and there's only 3 of them. So, and over here on I guess an overcast day is F8. Then when you move it up, this is F11, partly sunny or partly cloudy depending on how you look at it. And over here on very bright sunlight is F19. Okay, now the reason why these lenses start off so slow is basically because these cameras are fixed focus. So the smaller the aperture, the more likely that you'll get a sharp image. And let's take a look at some of the other parts of the Nishika. Now if you look over here, a funny thing here, looks like an LCD, but actually it's just something like a sticker or something printed on to make it look like an LCD. Really reminds me a lot of those what I call the fake cameras. I don't know if any of you guys remember, but there was a proliferation of those cameras back in the late 80s or the 90s, like in the Times Square area or the area near 34th Street, and a lot of people were duped into buying those cameras thinking they were pro cameras when actually they were fake cameras. Anyway, over here is a battery tester. This camera uses 2 AA batteries. So you pop the film back open the same way that you do on the Nimslo. It's basically like, okay, take a look in there. Now the great thing about this camera is that it actually doesn't need batteries to operate, but it has a set shutter speed of 1/60th of a second. So let's take a look and see if it shoots. And you saw that open, right? So she's working. You only need the batteries, which are 2 AA batteries for the light meter. Alright, so that's pretty much it. These are basically very simple cameras, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the key differences between them. Okay, so the Nimslo actually is fully automatic. The Nimslo has a more flexible shutter speed range, which is I think 1/30th to 1/500th of a second, and the Nishika is less flexible at a fixed 1/60th of a second. But the difference is that the Nimslo needs the batteries to operate and is fully automatic, whereas the Nishika, even though it only has that one shutter speed, it has a mechanical shutter where you don't need batteries, so it's a compromise. And as I said before, the Nimslo uses glass for the lenses, but the Nishika uses plastic for its lenses. Now, I wouldn't be too dissuaded by that because based on the results that I have seen from my own pictures using the Nishika, and from what I've seen from the Nimslo online as well as the Nishika online, there's very little difference, probably because the lenses are already slow to begin with, so you're very likely to get a sharp image should you be doing everything correctly. These are actually very simple and basic cameras, with the exception of the fact that they have the Quadra lens system. Quadra lens. Alright, so what do I think about these cameras? Well, first of all, let me just say the positives. They are fun cameras. So if you're interested in doing something different, if you're bored, you want to do something different from what you're doing, these two would be great options. But other than that, my personal opinion, these are basically crap cameras. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, if it wasn't for the 3D lens right here, 3D lens, okay? And don't be offended if you're a fan of these cameras. I'm a fan of these cameras too, but I'm just telling it like it is. These are crap cameras, okay? Basically, the calling card for these cameras are those 3D lenses. But if it wasn't for that, they would be crap cameras, really. I mean, seriously. Alright, well, when I got back from my trip, a funny thing happened. Now, during the trip, I was fine, man. I was jacked up. I was psyched up, taking a lot of pictures. But when I got back, I don't know what happened, but I crashed, man. I wasn't interested in taking pictures. I wasn't interested in picking up my cameras. I wasn't interested in photography. It got so bad that I was even thinking of shutting down this YouTube channel and just going back to straight blogging. But then I said to myself, wake up, man. If you were to give up this Camera Legend channel, and if any of us reviewing these old classic cameras were to give this up, we would be left in a world with nothing but a gazillion reviews of Nikon Z cameras, Canon R cameras, Canon 90D, or whatever the latest and greatest is today. And what a sad world that would be, wouldn't it? Anyway, listen, man, I don't want to burn any bridges. I'm sure they're fine cameras, and if Canon or Nikon were ever to send me a copy for review, wink, I wouldn't mind reviewing them. But I know they're not gonna send it to me because I'm just a peon. I'm just a small fry for them, man. But that's fine, because you guys are psyching me up. And you know, when I started doing this video, I wasn't feeling it, but now at the end of this video, I'm getting inspired, man. You guys inspire me. You guys are jacking me up. So screw those big dogs, man. I'm going to make more videos for you guys. As long as you guys are watching, I'm going to keep producing. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time on the CameraLegend.com YouTube channel.
CameraLegend.com